Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Vicki Gunvalson shares her biggest regret from RHOC. The OG of the OC, Vicki Gunvalson, opened up about one of her biggest regrets from her time on the Real Housewives of Orange County on her new podcast, My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast. Vicki's co-host, Christian Grey Snow, asked her if there was any moment from her 13 seasons of the Bravo hit. Her answer related to her time dating Brooke Sayers on the show, which is no surprise to true RHOC fans. Of course, probably dating Brooks, and having that experience on International. I should have broken up with him right away, and I didn't because I believed him. That was a tough part of my life, and I definitely would take that back. I wouldn't have held on to him as long as I did, she added. Vicki and Brooks dated on and off from 2012 to 2015, their final split coming amid the revelation that he was faking cancer. Throughout season 10, Brooks' health took center stage, with newbie Meghan King being very vocal about her doubts concerning his cancer. Vicki's other co-stars, Tamra Judge, Heather Dubrow, and Shannon Beater, eventually questioned whether he was sick. Brooks was accused of forging medical documents in an attempt to claim that he was diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Following their split, Brooks admitted to forging the documents and reaffirmed that Vicki did not know about it. Words cannot express the deep regret that I have in fabricating documents to prove to the world that I, in fact, have cancer. What I did was wrong and inexcusable. I acted alone, without Vicki Gunvalson's knowledge, to produce documents for a reality TV show in hopes of putting doubts about my cancer to rest. Following his statement, Vicki issued one of her own, thanking him for coming clean while bashing her co-stars and reiterating that she was not covering for her former flame. Over the last year, I have been bullied, belittled, and humiliated by viewers, the media, and my so-called friends. I am not now, nor have I ever been involved in covering for Brooks, she explained. In November 2019, Vicki sued Brooks for $184,899 in unpaid loans. She says that her ex-boyfriend began borrowing from her in 2011. But the two didn't enter into a written agreement regarding the money until a year after they split. Vicki also claimed he owed her an additional $81,652.97 from a separate agreement. She also sued Brooks for fraud, claiming he misrepresented himself by saying he would quickly repay the loans when he actually had no intention of ever doing so. In 2018, she explained, "I want my money back. The man lied to me, and he's not going to get away with it." Tell us, are you surprised that dating cancer scammer Brooks is Vicki's biggest regret from her time on RHOC? Sound off in the comments below. Vicki Gunvalson, the OG of the OC, has seen it all on the Real Housewives of Orange County. From lavish parties to tearful confrontations, Vicki's life has been laid bare for the world to see for over a decade. Her time on RHOC was filled with ups, downs, laughter, and plenty of drama. But when asked recently about her biggest regret from her time on the show, Vicki paused, took a deep breath, and opened up in a way that fans hadn't seen before. "I've had so many amazing experiences on the show, but when I look back, there's one thing I wish I could undo," Vicki began, her eyes misting over with emotion. "It's not the fights or the friendships that fell apart. It's something much deeper, something that affected me to my core and changed the way people saw me." The Brooke Sayers saga. Without a doubt, Vicki's relationship with Brooke Sayers has become synonymous with one of RHOC's most controversial storylines. Brooks was the Southern gentleman who swept Vicki off her feet during a vulnerable time in her life. After her divorce from Don, Vicki was looking for love and comfort. Brooks seemed like the perfect match, charming, attentive, and supportive. At first, it seemed like Vicki had finally found her fairy tale ending. But soon, cracks began to show. The other housewives, especially Vicki's close friend Tamra Judge, raised red flags about Brooks' intentions. Rumors swirled, and by the time Brooks claimed he had cancer, the doubt and distrust reached a boiling point. Vicki's loyalty to Brooks became her undoing. She stood by him when her friends and family didn't believe his story. Even when mounting evidence suggested that Brooks was lying about his cancer diagnosis, Vicki remained steadfast, caught in a whirlwind of love and manipulation. My biggest regret? It's believing someone who didn't deserve my trust, Vicki admitted, her voice breaking slightly. I thought I was doing the right thing by supporting my partner, but in the end, I was just being used. The toll it took. For Vicki, the fallout from the Brooks scandal was devastating. She lost the trust of her castmates, her children were angry with her, and her reputation was in tatters. Fans of the show were split. Some believed that Vicki was an innocent woman caught in a commons web, while others thought she had been complicit in Brooks' lies. I didn't know how bad it would get, Vicki said softly. I thought if I just kept defending him, things would blow over, but it only got worse. Vicki revealed that her biggest regret isn't just believing Brooks, but how she handled the entire situation. I was so defensive, so focused on proving everyone wrong, that I didn't stop to really think about what was happening. I pushed away the people who cared about me because I was so caught up in the lies. She took a deep breath before continuing. The hardest part was seeing how it affected my kids. My son Michael was furious with me and Brianna. Well, she knew all along. She tried to warn me. But I didn't listen, and that's something I have to live with. The fight to regain trust. After Brooks was exposed for faking his cancer diagnosis, Vicki's world crumbled. She felt betrayed, humiliated, and heartbroken. The other housewives, especially Tamra and Shannon Beater, were relentless in their criticism of Vicki, accusing her of being complicit in Brooks' deception. I felt like I was drowning, Vicki recalled. Everywhere I turned, someone was angry with me. I couldn't escape it, not on the show, not in my personal life, not even on social media. People were calling me a liar, a manipulator. It was horrible. It took years for Vicki to begin rebuilding her relationships. Her friendship with Tamra was especially fractured, but eventually the two were able to mend fences, though it was never quite the same. Vicki acknowledged that she had to work hard to regain the trust of her friends and family. It wasn't easy. I had to look at myself and realize that I'd made some big mistakes. I put my relationship with Brooks above everything else, and that was wrong. Looking back with clarity. Now several years removed from the Brooks-Ayers scandal, Vicki can look back with more clarity and insight. She's no longer on RHOC, but she remains a beloved figure in the Housewives universe, with fans rooting for her redemption. Leaving the show gave me some perspective, Vicki explained. I was able to step back and really think about what happened. I realized that I was in a toxic relationship, and I wasn't thinking clearly. I was so desperate for love that I ignored all the signs. Vicki also acknowledged that being on reality TV magnified her mistakes. If this had happened off camera, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. But when you're on a show like RHOC, everything is out there for the world to see. There's no hiding. A new chapter. Today, Vicki is in a much better place. She's no longer with Brooks, and she's focused on her family, her business, and living her life with integrity. I've learned a lot from that time in my life, she said. I've learned to trust my instincts more and to listen to the people who love me. I've learned that it's okay to walk away from something that isn't good for you. She's also found love again, this time with Steve Lodge, and is hopeful for a brighter future. Steve is different, Vicki said with a smile. He's honest, he's kind, and he respects me. That's what I needed all along. As for her time on RHOC, Vicki has no regrets about being a part of the show, despite the drama. I wouldn't trade those years for anything, she said. But if I could go back and change one thing, it would be how I handled the Brooke situation. I would have listened to my friends and my family, and I wouldn't have let myself be blinded by love. In the end, Vicki's journey on RHOC is a testament to her resilience. She's made mistakes, but she's owned up to them, and she's come out stronger on the other side. Life is about learning, Vicki said, and I've learned a lot. The most important thing is that I've forgiven myself, and I'm moving forward.